watching it as it will go live there.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do.
Okay, well, I think we are live, everyone. We're going to see if people can see us on YouTube there. I'm looking at Alina's channel. We are here for being a travel vlogger in a pandemic. And I'm going to refresh my page and see if we have gone live. It says 22 seconds. How about you, Mr. Michele Ponte? Does your channel show that you're live?
Yeah, we're live.
Probably, everyone, you're going to have to see a little bit of an advertisement before you go to the show. And just to let you know, we're connecting a few channels at once here. We have the lovely Alina Mcleod and Michele Ponte. Michele Ponte is in an undisclosed location in Bangkok, and I'm sure he's going to share that with everyone tonight. So just want to say a big shout out to a couple of people that I recognize. Tim K, thank you for joining tonight. And Tim K is the moderator, so be careful. Also, we got Ken that's coming in. And Alina, you have a couple of people that maybe you want to say hello from your channel, and you already have a super chat.
Yeah, well, wow. Thank you so much to Daryl for that. Really appreciate it. We got Michael, and we even have my dad. My dad tuned in. So, Gordon, thank you for joining.
Well, pleasure to meet your dad for the first time. Hello, Dad, and thank you for coming in. And we will make sure that Alina is okay tonight or today, wherever you guys are from. Now, here's the important part, guys. I just wanted to tell everybody, yes, hitting that little like button below the panel here is important, because what it does is it gives exposure to Alina's channel and to Michele Ponte's channel where this is being streamed to. YouTube has this thing called an algorithm, and it picks everybody's channel up, and we really appreciate that. And if you are happy with what you see tonight of myself, I'm the designated host, so thank you very much to you both. All of our channel links are below in the description, so please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and we truly appreciate it. So I'm going to go to Alina here. Alina, tell me, when was the last time you were traveling on the road? And I guess you just had a video out. So, I mean, tell us what's been going on in your life in the last month here.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because, as any of my subscribers know, I got back to Canada basically February 1st, before all the madness started. And I had booked my flight to Calgary, where I currently am, also before the pandemic. So in a way, I'm spending the pandemic with my mom here in Calgary, and we've been trying to get out of the city and go into the mountains where there's no other humans, and kind of just get in whatever kind of break from being inside that we can.
What have you seen changed in the last 4 weeks?
I mean, here in Canada, I wouldn't say that things are super crazy, but at the same time, almost everything is closed, basically just the grocery stores and pharmacies, maybe a few takeout places are open. So I think we're all realizing how awesome it was to have the freedom we did before all this happened. I'm sure once it's announced that the pandemic is over, that people are just going to go to all the restaurants, go to all the parks, and, just enjoy it.
I mean, what you guys can do, if whoever's watching tonight, you can let us know where you're from, and maybe let us know your experiences as well. And also, if you have any super chat questions, all these super chats do go as donations towards whatever prospective channel that you're watching. I do have a super chat that came in from One Crazy Nation. Who identifies this person?
They are the best family in California, actually. And I also got the donation from Ken Wigger, but he didn't show up. So thank you to both of them. I know them.
Thank you very much, Ken. So I'm gonna move over to Michele Ponte. Tell us, sir. I know you very well. How did we manage to meet each other, and what is happening in your life? Let's start at the day before you were on your way to India. Let's start with that.
Yeah, just for Alina's audience, practically 3 hours before my flight to India, they told me that my visa was cancelled. Therefore, I called Alex, and I told him, can I come over in Bangkok? And that's how we met. I didn't meet him any time before. It was my first time meeting, and he's such a great person. I was amused.
Well, thank you for that. And I think, what was interesting is on his way to the airport to India, something happened.
Yeah, I told her that my visa was cancelled. You
And
mean?
then you had to make an immediately, we'll call it a
Yeah,
180, and pick another country while you're on the way to the airport, huh?
Yeah, well, they
Now-
didn't watch the video about that, but doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm here. I'm very happy to be in Thailand, even if the situation is a bit weird. So we'll see.
Now, I know the story a little bit, Michele, and you arrived, and the next morning you woke up, and something else happened again, maybe for Alina's audience. What happened the next morning you arrived? Do you remember?
Yeah, all the Italians that arrived in Bangkok, they had to be in quarantine for 2 weeks. So I was like the only lucky Italian that didn't have to be in a quarantine. But I want to tell to everybody that I come from a city where there was no corona. So I was safe and still safe, and I didn't spread anything yet.
Well, that's good to know. Just to let you guys know that we have a few hundred viewers tonight, so we're really happy with that right now. We're going to get back to you in a moment, Mr. Ponte, because a lot of people are very intrigued on what's going on with you. The plot thickens on that. Alina, tell us how your journeys went this summer, or pardon me, is that going to be summer? Is it going to be spring? I can't remember. What seasons were you traveling now?
You mean this past year?
Yeah. So you were on the road for a long time, huh?
I was on the road for 6 months. I started July 31st and I got back to Canada like 1st of April, so 6 months exactly. And I did 4 different countries, but I mean, Russia's so big, so that's the big dog that took basically the whole time.
You have a super chat question from Tim K.
Hi.
If you see it there on the screen, it says, "Where's your favorite place in Moscow?"
Oh, that's a good question. It's weird with Moscow. First of all, unfortunately, I was feeling like crap when I got there. I was really under the weather, so unfortunately, I just didn't get to see as much of it as I would have liked. But what's great about Moscow is not only is it huge, but it has all these like beautiful, I guess, canals, that you can like walk around. So from the Red Square, there's like a canal that you start walking down, and it's like the most beautiful view. So I was always hanging around kind of that area near the water by the canals. Don't know the name for it.
How many videos did you put out in Moscow when you were there?
Oh, with Moscow itself, I think only 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And was that one of the ones where you were out on a really nice restaurant with a girlfriend of yours, wasn't it?
Yes.
If I can recall.
Yeah.
And how it was an amazing meal, wasn't it? In your video, you're saying it was quite expensive, but very amazing, though. Is that the same video?
We went out twice, I think. So there was a meal where we went to this like really cool like food stall type of place. There was like 50 different international food stalls in this one old like train station. Mm-hmm. I think it's called the Depot. And yeah, we got like a huge Indian platter, and it was pretty expensive, I guess, for Moscow. It was like $50 or $60, something like that.
Okay. And can you tell us, I mean, on that 6-month journey that you were on, what was your favorite video, and what was your most I'm going to hold this one, but what was your most struggling video that you put out? So let's start with what was your most favorite video that you put out in that 6-month journey?
Probably the one in St. Petersburg, and I think that's the one out of all my Russian videos that has the highest views that I'm like happy about, because sometimes people seem to like videos that I'm like, why do you like this video? Like, there's nothing good in it. But my St. Petersburg video is probably my favorite video that I shot, and it's currently my most popular video.
Okay, and your number one let's call it the hardest one, the struggle, yes.
Well, I think anybody who watches my channel, it's the one that I had like a breakdown on the train. My first 3-day journey, I got like the shittiest train there was, and I had no food. And for some reason, like everybody.
I hope your dad's got the swear jar ready.
My dad is where I'm swearing from, so I don't think that's the problem.
So that video, how long was that train ride that you were taking? And that's the Trans-Siberian, right? Is that the one we're talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
How long was that?
That first 3-day one was, like 67 hours or something.
And you just weren't prepared, huh?
No. Well, because if I would have had any other train, I would have been fine. But because I had that one, it was not good.
Well, for the other audience that is watching it, it's quite a interesting video. After I watched that video, I had to get a hold of Alina directly just to see if she was still in one piece, because you really put yourself out there to the people. And how was the response from the people that watched it? Can you maybe share the response?
Yeah, well, it's funny because my title was super sarcastic. It was like, millennial almost breaks down because no Wi-Fi and avocado, because that's what apparently we millennials do. But I thought that people would find that kind of title funny and like sarcastic, and obviously I'm making fun of myself because like I couldn't handle it. Like I'm not, somebody who does insane harsh travel all the time. So yeah, it was weird because some people were super supportive and other ones were just like, how dare you complain, like you're being such a baby, you're such a snowflake, like back in my day I had to do this or that. And I'm like, dude, it's a joke, like calm down.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna now take this over to Mr. Ponte. Ponte, you have, and you know what, guys, why I call him Ponte, because here's why. Okay, Michele Ponte and I, we know each other from a guy named Tim Kay, who's a really cool guy that we visited in the Philippines. And you can call him Michelle, or I've heard Michele, or I've heard Michele, or it's very difficult. But having this guy near me in Bangkok, he's trained me how to say his name in detail. So I want to know, one of your stories, and maybe you're still living it right now, what's going on with you, Mr. Ponte, in regards to what's your best video and what's your most maybe controversial video that you put out? Let's hear about it.
Oh goodness, there is no best video. Actually, the best video I think is the one that people decide to click on, and I do not love what I do usually because I was in film school, and doing a video on YouTube is like putting 10% of the quality and throwing it out to an audience. So I think the best video is the one that I can give the most emotions, but every person feels the same. I mean, the same, feels differently about it. Depends in what stage you are like right. If you're in a breakup or something. It's like with songs. One day you like one video, one day you like another.
Right. So did you feel that, let's, I'm going to, you know where I'm going with this. I'm going to narrow it down a little bit more for you. What on earth has happened to you in the last couple of weeks here? Have you been welcomed in Thailand?
So I am very confused about the Thailand situation because now they are becoming a bit not so tolerant through white people. And
right. Now we did see that in one of your videos that you just put out, didn't we?
Yeah, but why should we make this live stream about negative things?
No, it's not. I just wanted to say that we're talking. Our topic tonight is about being a travel vlogger in a pandemic, and we can share with everybody about beautiful blue skies, nice sandy beaches, but we also must let people know around the world that maybe they're experiencing some things in their country that they're not used to. And as we are being in Thailand, we're experiencing some things that we're not used to. So that's why I'm bringing up. It's not a negative point. It's just a point that I want you to bring up and tell the viewers.
What makes me worried the most is that in the future, like in the next months and maybe also next year, all the people, they will be scared. And not only from, if they know that you're from Italy, they are absolutely scared. But nowadays it's also from US. And I do not know. The confidence in tourism is not so high. And I do not know how much time it will, the world needs to recover from this situation. And I think it's going to be a bit insane. And I don't want to say justified, but I think that the media is pushing this narrative so much that at the end, everybody's scared. And what I found out in Thailand is that people that do not watch the news, they are actually okay being next to me. But if they watch the news, it's like, oh, you are the disease. You are walking like a zombie and nobody wants to be around you. So I don't know. It will be interesting to see, like, even in the next few days, like, there are very few people sick in Thailand, like 50 people per day, and it's nothing compared to Italy, it's nothing compared to US or the rest of the world.
We have a question here from Joe. I'm going to bring it up for you, Alina. I believe this is for one of your viewers here. I'm going to put it there. Alina, isn't it dangerous to speak Russian in Ukraine with all the Maidan stuff? Do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a question that I do get quite often. And I guess I do understand why people might think that way. But I obviously grew up speaking Russian because it was still kind of the tail end of the Soviet Union. So me and my family still primarily speak Russian. I actually don't speak any Ukrainian. So I would say that in Kiev, especially, you're going to have probably half the population still primarily speaking Russian, and then the other half, you know, is Ukrainian. And it's interesting because you'll go to a store and somebody will ask, you know, a question in Russian and somebody else will answer in Ukrainian. And it's kind of assumed that, you know, people understand each other in either language. That's obviously not true in my case. I have no idea what they're saying if they're saying it in Ukrainian. But yeah, I think that's a big misconception that somehow if you speak Russian that there's going to be some kind of like hatred or like, I guess it's a form of racism. I definitely haven't found that to be the case, even in places like Western Ukraine, like when I went to Lvov or kind of in the southern part in Chernivtsi, like I spoke Russian to everybody and also told them, you know, I don't understand Ukrainian. So they can make whatever assumptions they want about me, but I never faced any kind of, you know, backlash, so to say, for that.
By the way, when I was in Ukraine, I was in Kiev and I was asking people to teach me Ukrainian, but actually they were teaching me Russian all the time.
Yeah.
I was super confused. Yeah. Because I do speak Polish, therefore I understand many, many words in Ukrainian. And when they were speaking Russian, I was like, oh, it sounds a bit different. But at the end, it was fine. I learned what I needed and then I had another trip going. So maybe I want to visit Lviv for sure in Ukraine.
We have another question for Alina here from Mark. Alina, do you see that on your screen there?
Yes. One of the struggles as a travel vlogger. Thank you, Mark. Well, I mean, it's the kind of career that I guess you're always kind of living in a certain amount of uncertainty. Like, obviously, with the situation right now, nobody, you know, expected that something like this was going to happen and that it was going to happen on such a big scale. So, I mean, that's one obvious thing. Second of all, you're always dealing with, you know, a new country, a new culture, basically throwing yourself into an environment that you're not comfortable in or speak the language. And then also, you know, financially too, it's like some months your channel might do really well, other ones it might be a little bit slower. So you kind of have to learn to make peace with that sort of uncertainty that you get on a bunch of different levels.
Well, thank you for answering that question. And everyone, we do have a lot of questions for Alina coming out. If you do want your questions highlighted for Michele Ponte or Alina, just hit the super chat button there. Give a donation. You know that this goes to these content creators and they greatly appreciate that from everyone. Alina, I'm going to ask you this question because David Bond has asked it about 5 times during the show here. He asks if you would like to marry him. So I'm not sure if you'd like to answer that or
there is a waiting list.
And David, if you're in there, her father's in the chat, so you have to get down on your knee and ask your father first, my good man. We also, Ryan, you're asking how can we put a question on the screen? The best way to get that question on the screen, Ryan, is
Oh. Are we live? I don't know. Maybe I should take cover.
Did something cut out there?
I think we came back. Now, this is good news. Very good news. We're back. If we were not using studio software, we would have said goodbye to complete audience. Okay, that happens, guys, and that's what we're here to do. So we missed the marriage proposal, David, but we're going to continue to move on with the questions. This one is from Jill. The one. This has to be going to you, Mr. Ponte. If you could go anywhere to vlog today without virus concerns, where would you go?
Oh goodness, I actually wanted to go back to Poland. I was supposed to be in Poland this month, and because I've already visited every major city in Poland, I wanted to go in every village and all the little towns. I wanted to find like a little story to share, like a carpenter story, or like an old man doing shoes or something. And I had many places along the Polish Alps, which they look super awesome, and also in the border between Ukraine and White Russia. In Italian, it's called White Russia, Bielorussia.
Belarus, yeah, Belarus.
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 Yeah, right.
Come on, Ponte.
Yeah, I actually have friends in all of the three nations. So usually, I do not pay the rent, but I cannot share my location anymore. So.
And guys, what we're going to do, and the reason why Michele Ponte is going on about that is, as you put yourself out there as content creators, sometimes you have a legion of fans, and sometimes you don't. You have some critics out there. You could have the cure for the common cold, and somebody would still give you a thumbs down. But we had an unusual case, so we decided to move good Mr. Ponte to another location. But yours truly is going to be back to seeing him and beside him in the next couple of days here. And we're going to be making lots of pizzas together and doing lots of cool things together. This question comes to you, Alina, from Michele Ponte's channel. Alina, are you married already? Please answer that if you can.
No, obviously.
Okay. We are back here. So now the next question I'm going to have, and for all you guys to understand my role here, they elected me to be kind of like the host of this channel, and I'll tell you guys about me later at the end of the show, but this is all about two really talented content creators here on YouTube that continue to put out content in a time where I think all of us really need it, you know. Alina, maybe you can talk about some of your followers and subscribers. What, you know, you must be seeing a common message that's coming in the comment forums from people. Can you maybe share that with us and tell us what everybody is feeling right now during this strange time?
Yeah, for sure. Just one thing I quickly wanted to mention. I think I saw a super sticker or whatever from Yevgeny, so I'd like to say a quick thank you to him. But yeah, are you talking more about like how my viewership has changed? Or?
More of, as you know, you pretty much, like everybody on this panel, goes through and reads pretty much every comment on all your videos. What is the general consensus on your videos that people are saying? What's the message? People are saying thank you for your content, or don't put out content right now, or what are they mostly saying to you?
Well, overall, honestly, I think the majority of my viewership is like a godsend. Like the way that some people who have supported my channel have gone like above and beyond to not only, you know, support my channel, but to give me advice on places to go, and just becoming like friends. Actually, I've actually met quite a few of my subscribers, so it's interesting how, even though I felt like my channel wasn't necessarily big before I started my trip, but it's like quality people, like really supportive quality people, so I truly appreciate that. But of course you get some people that are just, you know, out to lunch with their commentary. So from Rahul there. Thank you so much, Rahul. So name one local dish or cuisine in general you've enjoyed the most from your travels so far, and why? Is there a destination on your bucket list just for cuisine? Very good question. Well, one thing that I'll say that I really unexpectedly liked way back in my travels, like 10 years ago, was when I went to Jordan. I can't remember all the names exactly of all the dishes that I ate, but almost every single thing that I ate in Jordan was incredible. Like, the quality of food there is amazing. Just tastes so much more fresh than what I think we got here in North America. So that was probably one of my favorites. And a country that I'd really like to visit just for its cuisine, probably Thailand would actually be up there. Because I used to work at a Thai restaurant before I was like, a travel blogger. And, we had a lot of people in our kitchen that are directly from Thailand, and they cooked like so good. So I'd like to actually go to Thailand and, get the authentic experience, so to say.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that. I've got a question. We're going to go to Jack here, and I think this is towards me. Jack, I'm going to see if I can answer this. Alex, can I ask you a question, please? Michele was living with you when a Thai threatened Michele. Why didn't you know what to do as a local know what to do? Interesting. Just to comment on that, we can't really get into the specifics because, we're currently working with the local authorities on that. And we haven't said that it is a local resident or a Thai national in general. And that's all we really want to comment on at this time. But he is safe, as you can see. He is in an undisclosed location, and I do see him on a regular basis. But we must accept that during these times that we're all living in right now, this is taking quite its toll on everyone in general around the world, where you've taken a world that had access to go anywhere, anytime, to do anything they wanted, to now confined to four walls, which that is in itself an experiment of almost 7 billion people on this earth. So it's quite extraordinary. Just to answer you, Jack, the things that have happened in Thailand here is we're in a slow moving kind of, what would you call it, Ponte? More of a lockdown, slow lockdown?
Yeah, Alex, but it's almost a lockdown. It's just a curfew. But what I want to add, I think that the problem, I attract lots of haters because I always show the positive and the negative of every nation I go to. So, like, sometimes I gain subscribers for the positive things, then I say something negative and I lose them. And I'm always playing up and down. But I just want to be honest all the time. And therefore, whatever I share is whatever I feel. And I think all my subscribers, they know, like, honesty is above everything. And then whatever happens.
Well, thank you for doing that. Just to let you guys know, we have a few channels that are streaming at this time, and it looks like some people are subscribing to you, Alina, and I'm sure that some are subscribing to Mr. Ponte. I have a question for you, Alina. When you're traveling, what kind of equipment do you have to pack? What kind of travel equipment do you have to pack?
Well, the main piece that I use and that I would definitely recommend to anybody who's looking to do any kind of travel content is my DJI Osmo Pocket. That camera is like tiny and has a built-in stabilizer, so I think this past year my content really improved because it wasn't like shaking all over the place when I just had my Sony a5000. Even though it's a good sit-down camera, it's hard to use that for walking around and getting nice panning sort of shots. So my Osmo's the main thing I use, and then I also have my drone from DJI, which is the Spark Flymore combo. And then what else? I have a micro Rode microphone that I use once in a while for my Osmo. And I think those are the main things, other than just like the little brackets and like selfie sticks or whatever, the little accessories for everything. But those are my main cameras.
Okay. I've got another super chat coming in here. I believe this is for Mr. Ponte. This is you.
I know, Randy. Thank you so much. So, Yugoslavian republics. I've been recently, I think you have seen the videos, in North Macedonia. And then I was in Kosovo, that some people say is part of Serbia, others they do not say so. I was in Slovenia as a kid, I remember that we went with my father and mother. We wanted to go to Croatia, but we stopped in Slovenia because we liked Slovenia so much. And Slovenia is probably the cleanest country on this planet. Like, you will not find a cigarette on the floor anywhere. And so, yeah, Croatia is on my bucket list, and Bosnia is absolutely on my bucket list. Unfortunately, I never find a direct flight from Rome to Bosnia. I was in Serbia quite a lot, and in Montenegro too. Actually, I think I've seen all that area apart from Bosnia and Croatia, but 6-7 years ago I wasn't vlogging, and I wasn't vlogging in English mostly. Therefore, yeah, maybe I should travel back there. But at the moment, I'm more focused on Poland and. I was White Russia, Belarus. Okay.
Belarus, yeah. And I have to tell you, I was in Bosnia Herzegovina a few years back. Absolutely, Sarajevo, absolutely stunning city. Amazing. I have a question here. A question for Alex. When are you going to do a poll on changing the channel name to Alex in Motion? That's a good question. There are a little bit things that, I've given that thought, and I am actually going to put it out. Here's what I'm going to do is when I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'll put that poll out for you guys. Okay, so I need another 300 or 400 to get there, and I'm going to put that poll out for everyone to decide my future of my channel. DMAC from Vancouver said the drone shots are awesome, Alina, from your drone.
Thank you.
You almost lost that drone, didn't you?
Oh, I've almost lost it so many times, and like it's weird because I almost lost it when I shot my latest video in Calgary. Like I'm in nature, nothing should happen to the signals, but yeah, it went into some kind of mode that I had never been in before, and it just had a life of its own. It started flying away from me, and no matter how many times I hit the back to home button, it wouldn't come home. It was only when the video cut out that I think something triggered in the drone and it came back to the home base. So
there is one button, that return to home button.
Yeah.
And it works better than sometimes doing it manually. When you lose the drone, return to home will go up and down until it will find a way.
That's what I was pressing. It wasn't working.
Okay.
I was like, this is it.
Well, I'm not sure if you guys got confidence on drones, but imagine putting a drone up in a city of 33 million people in the center of the town.
I think you have to have certain kinds of like allowances from the city because they'll allow certain drones if you have permission, but if you don't, they have a tendency to just restrict them.
So just to show you guys, if anyone is curious, what you need to have as a drone in Thailand is you need to have, and I'm going to tell everybody because I think this is interesting, just to let you know as content providers and content creators here on YouTube, the extremes that we have to go to. In Thailand, I needed 3 official documents. One was insurance. The other one was to make sure that if it drops on anybody that I can pay for it. The other one is from the NTSB, the government body that approves it. Once you have the NTSB certificate, then you have to get a CAAT certificate, and it takes about 8 months. Now, here's something I did learn, and I'm going to tell the channel, and I think pretty sure everybody knows about this on the channel. But if you see some of my drone footage in China that I've done on my website, the Chinese authorities didn't ban this little guy. Mm-hmm. And this is the new, it's a DJI product as well. It's called the Mac Mini, but it comes in at 249 grams. Anything above 250 grams, you need a license. So having the DJI name out there helped because it's also a product that's made in Shenzhen, China. So I managed to get this thing up in the air in China. And that's the extremes that, everybody on this panel has to go through. Ponte, you're not a big drone guy. You used to be. What happened to you?
I sold it to my brother because I wanted money to travel more.
One Crazy Nation, thank you.
But I made a deal with him, like I can rent it from him. So practically it's still mine, but I don't know.
So Alina, what can we look forward to? You were talking earlier about having travel plans. obviously everybody's grounded here. What's your thoughts? When is your next ticket to get on the road?
Well, I had actually already bought my next round trip ticket, I think 3 days before the pandemic was announced. So the good news is that I got a fantastic price for it. And second of all, that if I do need to change the ticket, I think they'll let me do it without, charging me a change fee, because they're not flying the planes. But if things get better, I am planning to leave Canada May 31st, and my first destination is going to be Estonia. And basically, my ticket is for 8 months. It's a much longer trip, and I'm hoping to hit probably at least 10 countries.
Okay, and any which countries have you got on your bucket list of travels?
Well, with this trip, I think my viewership really does like when I go to the former Soviet republics. So I think I am gonna go Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Belarus. Probably go see my family again in Ukraine, and then take a flight to Georgia. Haven't been there before. Armenia, Azerbaijan. And then if I can get a Russian visa, I would like to maybe spend a month in Russia, where I kind of go from the south, I guess, west of the country to the north to Moscow and St. Petersburg again, but maybe see some places like Volgograd, Sochi, kind of that area. And then from there, once it's cold out, I hope to come see, you guys in Thailand and stuff, and do some more Southeast Asia destinations, because I've never really spent much time in that area of the world either.
I mean, that would be great. We're ready, and we're waiting for you to come over here. We have lots to show you. Ken's got another comment for you, Ponte. I think there's some truth to this, isn't there?
Oh gosh. Well, there is half the truth to it. Somebody made the chicken wings the day earlier and didn't clean the oven, so when I started cooking, there was a bit of smoke in the house, and it was a live stream, Alina, so they enjoyed it a lot. I think
that's amazing.
It was it was the funniest part of the live stream, probably. And also we had Alex singing all the time, so when I didn't know what to say, he will take the camera and will start singing. It's like a crazy karaoke guy.
Oh, wow. Alina, I've got another question for you. When you're traveling and you have 8 months, I mean, is there a time, do you think that as a creator that is there a time that you really just get burned out being on the road? How do you recuperate that energy to keep it going all the time? I mean, it's probably pretty exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had a lot of trial and error on this other trip, because I've never, spent 6 months on the road like that before. So I learned a lot from that. And I think what I'm going to be doing with this trip that I do, I'm going to try and limit myself of not shooting everything, being selective about what I shoot, because otherwise I just can't keep up with editing and stay on track with my travels. So not only am I going to be selective with what I film, but I'm also going to make rules for myself that you have to take the weekends off, or, you have to take, a week off after you've done 2 months, just to kind of keep that sanity, because otherwise you do just burn out, you don't enjoy yourself, and it kind of defeats the point of traveling in the first place.
Lena, how long does it take you to, let's say, film a video, edit a video, and then put it up to YouTube? Just for one single video, how many hours do you think you work on it? From idea to filming to planning to promotion to editing and everything.
First of all, it does depend on the video. Some are a lot easier than others, but I'd say on average, a minimum of 20 hours probably. Minimum, absolute minimum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ponte, maybe you can add, how long does it take you to edit design, program, plan? How long does it take you to do? I've seen you work on these things for 10 hours at least. So how long does it take you to get content going?
But when I was the guest of your house, I was your butler, so I was doing my videos, your videos, I was cleaning the dishes, I was cooking the pizza, so it could take a lot of time, but I don't know. It really depends on the video. Like, it could be 3 hours, it could be 5, it could be 20. Like, depends on the story you're telling and how many point of views you're putting, how many scenes you had in mind. If it was an interview, it's super easy. If you had to shoot lots of B-roll, it's gonna take forever. And sometimes when you are about to publish thing, you realize that there is some mess. You realize that there is something missing or something in the wrong place, so you need to edit out, mix it, and I don't know. It takes forever, guys.
Alina, this one's for you.
Hi, Svetlana. Thank you so much. Yes, I definitely want to go to some of the Yugoslavian republics and, obviously the Balkan nations and stuff. But I think those ones probably will be another trip. I don't know if I'll be able to do it on this one. There's a part of me that, wants to go everywhere all at once. But I know that it's better to kind of give each country their due time. So I think maybe next summer would be when I would go see those destinations and get some sun while I'm there as well.
I had a question for you, Alina. I think that a lot of people aren't familiar with this because we have questions like, has somebody said, have you ever encountered and talked to Bald and Bankrupt? Mm-hmm. In this content creators environment that we're in, Michele Ponte has his channel, Alina has her channel, I have my own channel, Tim K, who's joined us tonight and is an outstanding moderator, and thank you to all those moderators on those channels for keeping everybody happy, is we do watch other content creators' videos, and we learn from their videos. We learn places that, hey, I would like to go there. Oh, that person's gone there. I feel, and just from my opinion, I feel that we're a pretty close-knit community within YouTube, and I pretty much know most of the names. So if the question here, I'm going to put it up here, wealthiest man alive, and congratulations to be the wealthiest man alive. Have you ever encountered and talked to Bald and Bankrupt? We may never talk to these people, and I know Tim K definitely has, but they probably watch our videos. We watch their videos, and it's a closed community. Alina, maybe you can tell us, who do you use as an influence when you're traveling on the road?
Yeah,
it gets pretty quiet out there.
Yeah, I guess to answer the question directly, have I met Ben from Bald and Bankrupt? Yeah, we actually met in Ukraine when I was there. This past year, we went for a drink and stuff, and he's like the nicest guy. It's weird because when I first watched his channel, I thought, his channel is amazing, obviously, but I thought he might be a bit of an intense, out there sort of person. But it's interesting to get a totally different side when you meet somebody in person. And he is just a super kind, really creative person. And even before I met him, he had sent me messages saying what I was doing, was really good. So he's actually a pretty big mentor for me and stuff. And I really think what he's doing is amazing. Another person who I haven't met but have chatted on Instagram with is Drew Binsky. I think the work that he's done is exceptional. I think he's got 3 countries left, something like that. He's seen basically the whole world, created incredible content. So he's another big inspiration for me. And then there's one girl who I really like for kind of her cinematography and shooting style. And I think her channel is called Hey Nadine. So really inspirational people on YouTube.
I think Nadine is Canadian also.
Yeah.
Mr. Ponte, how about you? Who are you watching?
I watch just Reporterfy Media every day.
Jesus. Come on, seriously. Well, thank you very much for that. But tell the panel, who else are you watching out there?
No, I watch practically all the name mentions. I did watch a lot, and of course Harald, and you don't like him, but Lost LeBlanc, I do watch him.
Who said I like Lost LeBlanc? He's a good guy.
But you know what? I think the first vloggers that I watched, they are like out of job nowadays. So like Mr. Ben Brown, Fun for Louis, and Casey Neistat is not publishing anymore almost. Like I watched all the old travel vloggers that nowadays they're not even old, they are max 40 years old, but it's like they have kind of disappeared, maybe because of the algorithm, maybe because they haven't evolved. I watch also PewDiePie, but nobody knows him probably in this.
Just wanted to say a special thanks to Randy. Thank you very much, Michelle. Let's start a new drone savings account or purchase a few fire extinguishers. I do have faith in your pizza preparation, but still worried. Just so Alina's viewers aren't aware that when Michele Ponte was staying with me, we decided that it would be a pretty good idea that he cooked pizza one night in my apartment, but he almost burned down my apartment doing it with my wife. He's blaming it on my wife that cooked chicken wings the night before, but
No.
I digress.
Maybe I will blame it on CB Media. I think he was the one cooking the chicken wings. But
we got a super chat here from Brian. I think this is one of yours, Michele Ponte. My best to all in this crazy time. Love from Toronto and Prince Edward Island, Canada.
Really?
Thank you. I think.
Oh, it's for me. That's beautiful that I stole a subscriber from Alina because he's Canadian.
That's all right. The Canadians can share.
By the way, I'm noticing the Canadians are the kindest people ever. I'm shocked. Like Alex has been treating me so well. I'm not doing the advertising for him. I'm just shocked. And I have relatives in Canada that I should probably go visit in Toronto, but I never went. I'm the only one in my family that never went to visit them. But nowadays I'm like, oh, these Canadians, they must be very nice.
Ponte, now that I've got you on the main screen, I had some questions. You've had a Japanese girl that's been in a video of yours recently. What's going on there? Some people are asking.
So I actually made an interview. I made the 2 simple videos with her. I will make a 3rd video. And I know everybody loves her because she has lots of energy. She's a bit crazy and she's starting a YouTube channel since I told her to start a YouTube channel. I think it will be super fun to watch her in the future. And like if you have a dead moment in your live stream, you just bring this girl, she will start dancing or jumping on the street or doing anything. So you're like, it's perfect for live content. And she's super kind person, but she's stuck in Thailand too. And tomorrow I will put out a video where she will explain that she lost the job, but she cannot tell her parents that she lost the job because it's an Asian thing. If you tell that you lost the job, they will kind of force you to marry someone. So tomorrow's video will be about that. It's a very simple video, and who's asking? Mario MB. I've never been to Australia. Australia is so expensive, guys. We need to make my channel go at least to Alina's subs.
That's interesting that you bring that up, and I'm swinging back to Alina here. Alina, I've been watching your channel for quite some time now. Mm-hmm. Where did this massive growth come from? You went from 20,000 to 40-some thousand overnight. Maybe you can explain to the viewers what happened there.
Well, it was just on this trip, and I think it was almost right in the middle of it where I started to see a lot more growth, and it was all basically like thanks to this new wonderful Russian viewership. Привет, ребята, если вы там сидите. Yeah, it was because of a lot of Russians had found my video, and I think because once in a while I would speak in Russian, they kind of made the connection that I was one of them, so to say. So kind of from the time that my video started to grow from the trip, Hi, Daryl. I started to have my cousin Misha in Ukraine do subtitles for me, so that has kind of helped me grow that Russian audience because they're able to watch my videos whether they speak English or Russian.
Okay, and you also have an alternative channel as well for the Russian content, or how does that work? Can you explain that to us?
Yeah, well, I mean, before all of this happened, I had really high hopes that I was going to have this Russian channel and do a lot of content about life here in Canada, because I thought that would be, an interesting sort of dynamic for that audience. But basically, everything that I had planned for these next 2 months isn't, possible for me to film because everything's basically closed, and I think I'm just going to have to kind of put that on the back burner, and once things get back to normal, I'll start filming a lot more for that channel.
Okay, and Ponte, what can we expect from you coming up in the next few weeks here? I mean, what else have you got in your arsenal of videos as you're grinning there? Tell us what we can expect.
As I told before, I would like to balance nice and bad experiences. So I do hope nice things will happen pretty soon, because otherwise my content will be shifting in the wrong way, and I don't want it to happen. I don't know, guys. If you are from Thailand or if you are from Bangkok, please let's meet. Not just to shoot content, because I really want to know people from here. I want to know their stories. I want to see how you live. What's going on with your life? What are your dreams? I'm very, very curious about such things, and maybe I will shoot a little documentary about your situation, and I think it will be interesting for everyone watching.
So are you saying you're having a fan meetup in Bangkok? Are you sure, given the current situation?
Well, write me a check first. No, guys, but I don't know. Wait, I got the question. Zora. Okay, when I subscribe, make sure I watch all the videos posted. I am subscribed to you. I gotta wait, but thanks for the advice. Zora, thank you so much. I know you subscribed 1 week ago, and I'm super grateful. I have content since 2015. I just the algorithm of YouTube didn't want to kiss my content earlier, but nowadays it's kind of going in the right direction. So if you want to see videos from Italy and Poland, start from 2015, also Hungary, Austria, and so on. And then we can shift to Asia last summer, like Vietnam. I don't even remember where I've been. Taiwan, amazing street food in Taiwan, guys. Everybody should go to Taiwan just to eat.
Yes, I remember watching your videos in Taiwan there, where you were in a, what was it, a storm? You were in some storm and you were running the street?
Oh, yeah. So that's, because I had very little subscribers, and there was the biggest storm in Taiwan since many, many years, a typhoon, I decided to go shoot the typhoon, because I was I needed views, and therefore, I got one of these jackets against the rain, didn't work. I got a phone against the rain. I mean, didn't work so much. The audio was kind of gone, but I was able to shoot this typhoon, and the channel kind of went up. But everybody was like, "You're stupid. You shouldn't do so." And but you subscribed. It's your fault.
I remember watching that, and then I started to write you and said, "Can you come meet me in Bangkok?" But you still ignored me. But hey, isn't that funny that we're definitely here meeting today? So now we're almost hitting the 1 hour mark. You guys want to stick around for a little bit longer? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
sounds good.
Got how many people? 200 people here right now?
Yeah, we got 200 people. This is great, guys. We've been maintaining this. From David, thank you, Alina. We'll truly subscribe to Michele Ponte and Alex. Thank you, David. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, now that we're at the top of the hour, I'm just gonna chat a little bit what I'm up to, guys, if you all care. I'm pretty much focused on China. No, I didn't pick China because of the current situation. I was in China, I've been traveling in and out of China since 2003. But I decided to make content recently on China, so I decided to pick one of its largest cities called Chongqing. That's hard to say, but Chongqing in itself is about the population of Canada, the city, with over 30 million people. And I took some advice from Alina and as well from Michele Ponte, Tim K, on how I should film and document this city. I did it. It's my first city. I am invited back. I've got my ticket. I've got my visa ready, a 10-year visa to get back into to China, and I am going to be taking hopefully everyone on this panel, but I know Tim K is definitely going to be going there with me to get things started off. China is very, very open to travel bloggers, but it is one of the destinations that for some reason, people kind of ignore it. So I've made it my quest to get in there and know that culture and try to show people that this isn't the China what we see on the television. And it's been an extraordinary experience for me. It's not what you think. You can see that through my videos, and I have at least another 2 months of videos coming out from that. And by the time that content's over, yours truly should be back in on the China soil. That's it from my little plug now, and we're going to go back to Alina here. And
I have a question.
Also, tell me. You go full screen for this one.
I'm sorry, it's not for you, Alex. It's for Alina.
Go. Yeah.
So I was thinking, are all Canadians attracted to Eastern Europe, or it was just specifically because of your background? And apart from Ukraine, were you always interested in the nations nearby Ukraine, or it just happened?
Ponte, I caught
maybe I don't know if you heard that question.
Yeah,
did you hear that question clearly?
Yeah.
I got the first
Fire away again, Ponte.
part was kind of muffled.
Yeah.
Try again,
So
Michael.
were you always interested in Ukraine just because you were born there, and were you always interested in the nearby countries, or it just happened that you went there and you got in love with these places? And as part of this question is, are also the other Canadians attracted by Europe or Eastern Europe, or I don't know, you're a specific case, you're different from the rest of the people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for me, obviously, because of my connection of being born there, I mean, I went back every 2 to 3 years from the time that we left. So it's always been like a second home to me. But just Kiev specifically, I haven't explored all the different, main cities of Ukraine, which is something that I definitely want to keep doing over time. But yeah, as far as it being a popular destination for Canadians, I'd say overall no. Most people that I'll ask about Ukraine know very little about it. And I guess that's why I try and really promote it on my channel, because I think it is such a great destination and is actually really tourist friendly. So I'm hoping that more people will go visit it from North America. Hi there. Hi.
We had a donation here from, let me just pick this up here. I'm just going to put this on the screen. I think this is for you, Mr. Ponte, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Oh, thank you. Oh, guys, you're unbelievable. I know her. I think she donated to me on PayPal 2 weeks ago, and I wrote her the email and asking about everything, and it's unbelievable that you guys keep donating. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Heidi, that's greatly appreciated.
Yes.
Yeah, it's super appreciated.
And I had a question from Jack. Alex, it's different from you vlogging. You have money, so some do it just for money for YouTube, which makes it disappointing. I would think that most creators on YouTube would generally like to, because they do put a lot of time and energy into making content. There is a cost. Just to give you an example, camera costs, uploading costs, travel costs. Even if you just wanted to film in a city 2 or 3 hours away, and it took you 2 to 3 days to film, there's costs on that. So, I mean, it takes, a long time to eventually get there. and even with people that do have another income, which I do myself, but when I'm going to travel to places like China, the costs, it's not free, but I do it because there are stereotypes on certain countries in the world that I like to crush and debunk. And that's like my wife, she's Eastern European. And, before we got married, I had people saying, hey, what are you doing? And I said, what do you mean? This is an amazing part of the world. And there's so many stereotypes and so many things that we as content creators here, we show a part of the world that you can't find on National Geographic videos or, travel videos online. We're walking down streets that maybe we shouldn't walk down. We're traveling to cities that maybe we shouldn't travel to, but we do it because there's a passion. And maybe Alina and Michele, you guys can add to what I'm trying to say here. But this is much more than doing this for any gain financially. This is more of a love of being able to do it. You guys, can you help me out and add in on this?
Ponte, do you want to go first? Okay.
So what I really think is that the people successful on this platform are like the 0.0 something percent. And therefore, if you're doing it for money, there is practically, it's almost like going to play for the NBA. It's almost impossible that you get to play basketball in the NBA. But sometimes it happens. And if you do it for money, if you do it with this idea that you're going to be successful for sure, it's not going to happen. Plus, all the time you put in, like you could say Alex has money, but the time he puts into YouTube, his time is not putting into his businesses. So he could make much more money, but he decided to put the effort in something that he loves doing. And I think that's the feeling for every, I don't like to use the word creator, but for everyone on YouTube, every creator, like the cost of the time, even if it was just $5 per hour, I'd be rich now. Like I'd totally be rich. In the last 5 years, if I had $5 per every hour I put into YouTube, I'd be a millionaire probably. I don't know, like.
Yeah. No, that's so true. I think especially when you're first starting out, like I think I launched my channel the end of 2015, I think, and I was kind of a sporadic uploader for that first year. But even when I was uploading regularly, like once a week for about a year, I was still only making like $100, $200 tops a month from like AdSense and a little bit of affiliates, and probably putting in maybe about 60, 70 hours a month, something like that. So when you're first starting to do it, especially, you really have to have a reason outside of money that you're continuing to do it, because the money for most people anyway isn't there to begin with. But having said that, YouTube is an awesome platform that if you are able to, create a following and you are kind of business savvy, there's so many opportunities. Like, there's so many different ways to either collaborate with brands or just have a very high AdSense, make your own merch, sponsorships. It's a platform that does have a lot of opportunities at the same time.
I think for Canadians and US people is much easier, because if your main audience is like the Philippines, which I do love the Philippines, I've been there 3 times, like no sponsor is gonna pay you like $3 per 1,000 views. So
yeah,
like depends on where you're from. But yeah, the business opportunities, I think they come mostly from money outside of YouTube, but connected to YouTube. Like if you create something while you're creating the channel, it's probably going to be as successful as you can be.
And, I'm going to add to that. I'm traveling to a country of China where YouTube is technically blocked. And what's strange is over the last couple of months, I've grown quite a few subscribers, and they are from China. So they're using a VPN to watch my content. So, I'm in a market where there shouldn't be a market. where Google technically does not advertise. And I think that could be one reason why a lot of content provider, or, you know, I know you don't like this, me saying this, using this word content creator, Mr. Ponte. Maybe you can give me another word. I'd love to use it, but
YouTuber, it's fine.
YouTubers. Okay, well, YouTubers then, you know, the amount of time, just to give you guys an example, I put out a video last night, and it was, you know, heavily edited with my wife and Michele. He was here earlier on in the week helping us with some graphic pointers on it. And by that time that video was uploaded and put on YouTube, I worked over 30 hours to put that video up. That's not including the time I got on an airplane to go to China and bring it back. I mean, it's just, we do this because we really, and I'm speaking for the panel, correct me if I'm wrong, but we really like to entertain you guys. I love waking up in the morning saying, reading the comments saying, wow, guys, like, or this really made my day. And I think right now, and why we're live today, is simply because this is the time for us creators to step up and to bring content to people that need it during this time, because the news is just, we all know what that is right now. It's just beating you down. And then all the Hollywood's closed. It's closed. The theaters are closed. Hollywood's closed. Hollywood's not even filming. So we have to step up to do this for you guys, and that's why we're here tonight. Alina, can you add something to that?
Yeah, well, I think just in the past decade, there's definitely been a trend towards people wanting a different type of entertainment, so to say. I mean, maybe when reality television came around, that was kind of a step towards YouTube becoming successful, because even though reality TV isn't real, it can kind of seem like it. And so YouTube's that next step up of you getting to watch somebody's firsthand experience. Steven, thank you so much for the donation. I truly appreciate it. Do you guys drive around or take public transport when you vlog? Well, in my case, I guess very rarely I would drive. I don't have an international driver's license, and to be honest, I haven't really drove in a long time since I moved to Toronto. So almost all my transportation is public transit, because I think it also kind of gives you more of a local sort of experience. But I guess I do take like Uber or stuff like that if I'm going to a train station and have a lot of luggage, but mainly it's public transit.
We have another comment here. If you have good content, the people will come. If you just post another vlog, there are thousands of the same vlog doing the same things. Ponte, you want to answer that one, sir?
I agree, but at the same time, if you know the right person that is in a much higher position than yours, it's not about the content, it's about the people that are connected to you. And if you have the right connections, like there is no limit. People get in love with what you do, and they are so supportive as my subscribers. So it doesn't really matter what you do. What they want sometimes is entertainment. And I don't know if you have seen channels vlogging the same thing in the same day and vlogging each other. People, they just want to see your perspective. They do not need to see the perspective of someone else. They will see the perspective of the person that they love watching. At least that's in my case. Like, I love watching some people, and I'm doing the shower with the mask. I put lots of shampoo on it.
Oh, always. Are you sure you weren't a comedian before you were a YouTuber? I just want to say a big shout out to a couple of people that are very supportive. And Alina, you're probably going to see them on our channel because they came from Ponte's. Ken and JC Max, thank you. You know, also, there's a comment here from Tim K. Bald would have been successful. He is the best storyteller I've ever met. Exactly. I totally agree with you on that one. And there's a lot of things, and he actually influences people like myself to get out there. And, you know, Ponte said to me earlier this week, he was watching videos and said, you wouldn't have done that before YouTube. And that was I was having a hot pot meal in Chongqing, and he's probably right. It actually helps us, get a little bit more creative. DMAC, in Saskatchewan, the lines of the roads are just a suggestion. Alina, do you know what he's talking about?
Well, I mean, it depends which part of Saskatchewan you're driving in. But yeah, if you're on the country roads, you just gotta go with the intuition, so to say. Country driving.
I've got a couple more. I got a couple more questions I'm going to pick up here. Everybody, just want to wish everybody, whatever country you're in, if you celebrate Easter, happy Easter to everyone today. There's a couple of questions. You guys, we're going to be wrapping it up in about 10 minutes here. And so if you have any last super chats that you guys want to get into the panel here, that would be greatly appreciated. Just to let you know why this is not streaming on my channel, I've had that question, is I have an audience that I have a live show every Saturday with 4 channels or 3 other channels from YouTube that I do on a Saturday. And I felt it was important that Alina and Michele Ponte, take the spotlight it is for today, because this is, all about being a travel vlogger in a pandemic. And although I am a travel blogger, I have my own channel. It's definitely about these two today. And more questions are coming in. Let's see here. I'm not sure if I want to highlight this one. Just reading. Do you see what I'm seeing?
Just do it. Let's have fun.
Okay, let's have a look. What's this one?
You don't have many haters on your channel, which is good. I see some others that say hello watchers and haters. Well, you know what happened is the person that we cannot mention was commenting from more than 7 accounts. So for practical reason, it had to be blocked. And that's as much as I can say. I don't think I have many haters. I have many people that are like, you are an idiot. Which is different. So if they think that I am stupid, I think it's actually better for me. So they will not want to fight me. And they have no chance if they want to fight me. But still, if they want to fight me, I don't know.
You got the chorizo sausage. You can give him one. Wealthiest man alive. Alina, are you still doing modeling?
Well, not right now, obviously. But when I was back in Toronto in February, before all this happened, I did have one job with a former client. So yeah, it's something that I do, once in a while. But I am getting older, so to say. So, the modeling industry is a superficial sort of industry that, uses people that are very young. So, I'm kind of moving out of that whole industry as I get older.
I think it's the right choice.
Oh, yeah, I did know that. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Ponte. What can you say about how do you deal with your situation now, and how is that going to change moving forward?
Well, I never done modeling before, and it is not going to change. But the future content will be. I just want to do storytelling, and that's the only thing I care about, and that's the only thing I noticed that on YouTube is picked up, because we can do the coolest B-roll ever, but if there is no story, there is no point in shooting the video, and nobody's gonna be interested to watch it because it's gonna look like an advertisement or like propaganda. And therefore, I think storytelling is the key to everything we do on YouTube. If there is a story, there is a video, and if there is a video with a story, people are gonna watch it, and maybe they're gonna appreciate it, maybe not, but doesn't matter.
Can we have a sneak of what we can expect on one of your videos coming up here? Any crazy ideas you've decided to do to get yourself in more trouble?
So to get myself in more trouble, I had a very bad experience with a motorbike driver here. One day I had to meet you he brought me to the wrong hotel, and then he threw me a bottle. He started following me with the bike and so on.
You
So
need to
I will make
people.
you know, Alina, that's what happens when you're on the streets. Everything happens, and that's where I find the inspiration on the streets. If I am under the shower, I can try to sing, but doesn't work. So I have to go on the streets.
Oh man, Alina. So your plans to getting on the road here. What do you think the possibilities of that are? What are you hearing in Canada? What do you think? Are they going to let you in the skies?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, in Canada, we are still under like lockdown, so to say. But I think closer to May, they're going to have to start lifting it because there's no way the government's going to be able to keep forcing people to stay home and keep giving them, this universal sort of wage that they're doing right now. So I think it's going to have to start lifting by May at the latest. But with me in particular, me going to Estonia, which is a country that's not that affected, and me being from Canada that's not super affected, maybe there's a chance that they'll be like, you can come in, like, no problem. But obviously, if my flight gets canceled, there's nothing I can do about that. So just closer to the time, if my flight's still good, if I can apply for a Russian visa for, say, September, like, it's happening, I'm going.
That's one thing about the future that worries me a lot is like, imagine if every country wants to do a 2 weeks quarantine when you get inside.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the craziest part of traveling in the future. Like, if they do so, we are screwed. But I don't know. Maybe we need like a 3-year visa in Russia. So when you enter, you have time to explore it. Otherwise... Oh gosh, it's gonna be incredible. Like, I'm very curious and worried at the same time.
I celebrate Easter. Mr. Ponte and Alina.
Yeah. Oh, I miss my family actually. No, for real. I actually, if you see the little Bugs Bunny on the top corner, I was the one that I put it there.
Very nice.
So like, we eat chocolate Easter eggs. We eat some animals that people will not appreciate that we eat during Easter, but they're pretty tasty. And we spend the whole Easter with the family, and then after Easter there is in Italian it's called the Little Easter, Pasquetta, and it's the day that you spend with your friends. And usually you go somewhere, you go party, and by party I mean at the beach, the one with the sand and the river, and and or you go in the middle of the woods and so on, and you spend your whole day with your friends. So yeah, I would love to be in Italy actually today. Like, it's an important day, but that's okay.
I can understand.
That's
I can
okay.
understand. Randy, yes, I think we'll do this again. We'd like to hear some feedback from everyone if they would like to see a show like this again. If you haven't got your questions answered, the best thing to do is to go to the content creator that you like here, or the YouTuber that you like here, and either visit their community board on their community section. What's it called, guys? A community tab?
Yeah,
is that right?
Community tab. Community.
A community tab. You can leave your comments there, or just any one of their videos, because everybody pretty much reads everything anyway. I had a question. Maybe Ponte, you can help me out with this question. Somebody said I should have invite him again, Alex, by this. Anybody know what that meant?
Wait. Invite him again.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they mean that you should host me again, but then it means that I should work again. I do not know if I want to be.
Sorry, guys. I don't know if you can hear me, but everything is frozen for me right now. We're just going to try and get it figured out. Please write me in the chat if you guys can see and hear me, because right now Alex and Ponte, they are frozen and I can't hear them. So just give us 1 second here. Can you guys see me? I have to look on my phone to check my messages here. Let's see. Okay, so you guys can hear me, right? But can you guys see Alex or Ponte? Okay, I'm all by myself. All right. Well, this is interesting. I'm sure they will join us as soon as they can. But yeah, we're on this kind of middleman streaming sort of service that allows multiple people to be on the network. And Alex had mentioned that sometimes, you know, people can drop off and stuff, but then if they enter the link, they can get in once again. So until they enter, why don't I actually look through some of your questions here and answer? Whoa, there are so many. Okay. Let's see. Alina, have you ever thought of working for Canadian Security Services and Intelligence? I mean, I usually get asked if I want to be a Russian spy, but I guess I could be a Canadian spy. That would be interesting. Alina, have you ever seen Anton Pushkin videos? Have you ever chatted with Sonia Esman? Anton Pushkin, if I'm not mistaken, he's the guy that was on Orel и Орешка, right? Like the Russian travel show, if I'm not mistaken. So if I'm thinking of that person, then yeah, I've seen his kind of continuing content on YouTube, and he's like insanely talented. So yeah, I've watched his stuff before. And then as far as Sonia Esman, funny you would mention that, because I think she was probably the first sort of channel that I got obsessed with and that kind of inspired me to start YouTube. So she's actually always been a big inspiration, and it's really cool that in this quarantine period, she's actually been uploading a lot more. So big fan of her and would recommend to you guys if you speak Russian as well. Let me see here. For some reason, things are kind of freezing up here, guys. So if you guys have any kind of last questions, just send me in this last part, and then we'll probably have to sign off here. Who are you going to vote for? Donald Trump after all that happened? Well, I'm not American, so obviously I won't be voting, but I mean, I will just say I'm a big Bernie supporter and was a little bit sad that he dropped out of the race. But I mean, you know, I really do wish the best for America and hope that, you know, whatever they choose going forward will make their country better. Hi, Alex.
Hey, we lost a bit of connection here, everyone. Sorry about that. We'll try to get Ponte back on. Yeah. But our streaming lost connection. But wow, so you took over when we disappeared?
Yeah.
Thank you for saving us. I'm not sure if Ponte's audience is still here. Maybe somebody can let us know if his audience is still here. That would be good to know. Just give us a shout out if you can still see us on Michele Ponte's channel. Sorry to interrupt you, Alina. You were giving some closing remarks.
Yeah, well, I think we've been going for almost an hour and a half here and stuff. So I think I would just like to say a very big thank you to everybody coming out. This is the first time that I've ever done a live stream, so to say. So thank you to all of my subscribers who came out and supported me on here. And it was awesome to meet everybody from Ponte's YouTube channel. Really cool to kind of have this blend of people in a live chat.
Well, I mean, we're going to try to get Ponte back in here just so he can say a goodbye to his audience. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. And oh, there we got people still here. Ponte, they want him back. We'll try to get him on here before the show. But Alina, really, thank you very much. This was your first live stream to your audience?
Yeah, this is cool.
How did it go?
Well, I think it's good that I had you guys for my first time, because there are, so many different kind of things to keep track of when you're doing one of these things, and watching the comments as well. So I think maybe I will try one solo at some point. You guys can let me know if my viewer base wants to see that. But I think it's also really cool to have multiple people on here, so you can kind of bounce ideas back and forth. So thank you for setting this up, Alex.
Yeah, and even if, Alina, even if you want to make this all about you on the next show, we would be glad just to help you from the back end of it, to make sure, as you can see, things do happen during these programs where connections go in and out. The good thing is you kept this going while we were gone, vice versa. So next time you want to do a show, we'll be behind the scenes, and we're happy to do that, because we enjoy working with you. So everybody, I don't think Ponte is going to come back in, but I'm going to say thank you to his audience, and he will probably put out a video that somebody cut his internet off, and it will make quite an interesting story. Thanks again, Ken and Mark, and to everybody from us tonight. Thanks for joining, and we look forward to seeing you all again. So thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.